becoming senior director in our organization. So, hey Jason, welcome. Hi again, Veronica. So we'll get started here in just a few seconds. Okay. Hi Abby. Hi Patty. All right, I think I should get started. So first of all, thank you for joining us. You know, I did a training many years ago at one of our international conventions with Margie Ray, and she said the first rule of success is showing up. So congratulations, you've all accomplished the first rule of success. Anyway, what I want to do is talk about one of the most important activities that you could possibly perfect or continue to improve is approaching, setting appointments. I often have said, and I probably stole this from my enroller or somebody on our team, that the most successful people in Melaleuca are not necessarily the best presenters. They're those that do the most presentations. So really it's more about setting the appointment and perfecting the approach than it is the actual presentation. If you're not good at the approach, you're not going to be doing too many presentations. So obviously that's a big key. I've been with Melaleuca now for 25 years, and I guess now that we're actually started formally, let me start again by saying I'm an executive director of 5. I've been with Melaleuca, as I just mentioned, for a real long time. I'm here in Madison, Connecticut now, raising my family on a Melaleuca lifestyle. I just have to tell you, it's absolutely the most incredible decision I ever made. And I thank all of those that are on my team and all the seniors and executive directors and all the directors through Director 9s and my support team. And mostly, obviously, Frank and McKay and the management team. We would never be able to have what we have if they didn't have the vision and wherewithal to create this company. So I think I'm going to start by hitting on that point. Before you set an appointment, you really need to understand what you have. And I think that that is really powerful if you understand just exactly the, what we bring to the table as a business. Not just compared to that multi-level marketing industry that we have separated ourselves from, and that's a whole nother training on that, but beyond multi-level, just with as far as corporate or business owners. I've often heard people say you don't own a business, the business owns you. And that's very true. You're the first one in, the last one out, and typically the last one to get paid. I probably don't have to talk too much about corporate America and the pros and cons of that. It's just somebody else basically dictating what your life will be like or what you're worth to them. So what I found is that a Melaleuca business will allow me to get paid what I want to get paid based on the effort and the time that I put into the business. But realistically, I never would have really been able to do that if I didn't get excited about what I have in front of me. And I had been in multi-level marketing before, so it was a little scary even looking at another home-based business. But when I did, I looked, and my enroller, Greg Dagana, was very clear on the reorder rate and showing me how many customers have been reordering at that point for 22, 23 straight months. That absolutely blew my mind. I could not believe it. I had never seen anything like that. And now if you look at our printouts, as a matter of fact, I was on the phone with Greg earlier today, and we were talking about how to appropriately use a printout and some techniques and things that he does. He is the master. And he told me just to look at one of my first enrollments. And I looked, and they were enrolled for 290 months. He said, all you have to do is sit down with someone and let them see those numbers and how much you made on that person that month, and then times it by 290. And I got a little excited because, looking at it that way, it's like, my goodness, it's just an absolutely amazing concept and business model. So, even, and especially with those that are business owners, this is really appealing because it's the two things that are hard to get anywhere else: leverage and residuals. We get paid every time our customers reorder. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, our company is like that too. But are your customers really reordering? Can you show me a printout with 290 consecutive months of ordering? That's the key. And as a matter of fact, when you talk to anybody in a home-based business, or any business for that matter, and they tell you that, oh, mine's the same, Good. Start by showing me a printout and a reorder rate and anything even close. And I'm not sure where they're going to go with that because it just does not exist. So we have something very special. And before I pick up the phone, before I talk to anybody, I start to go through my head all the things that I know make us so special. And what it's done for me and my life and my family and those that I've built the business with, my friends that I've made, my Melaleuca family, the Mela cousins as they call them. And then I make my phone calls. And usually I'm just fired up by that time. So Paul Kopetsky once said, it's not the words you say, it's the music you play. He's probably said it more than once, but it makes so much sense. It's your attitude, it's your posture. I have a list of just all the different things that make Melaleuca so special, but I think you understand and know those things because you wouldn't be here if you didn't. And if you're brand new, make sure you get it, because once you get what you got, it's going to be really amazing and you'll be unstoppable. So remember, we have a 32-year-old rock solid company that's passed the acid test, where we're growing more each year. That's unheard of. And we have people coming in that are making more in their first year than ever before. Starting 25 years ago, when I came in and saw people like Alan Paris and Russ Paley, Greg Lagan, and Eddie Bestoso and that whole gang, and Tommy Pisano, who we'll hear from tonight. These guys had come in and made 100 and something thousand their first year in business. That was amazing, never done. Then there was a few years later, people were making a couple 100,000 their first year. I remember several years ago, I heard someone made 500,000 their first year. I couldn't believe it. And just recently, somebody either broke $1 million or came close to the $1 million in about 12 months. It gets better and better and better. And really, if we were like those type of multi-level companies, which we're not, then that would really not be how things worked, because the money would have been made in the ground floor. Get in first, be the millionaire, get rich. Don't wait a year and be the one that makes us rich. Get in now and get rich with us. Ugh. Scary, scary way of promoting a business, because then I think to myself, well, what about a year or 2 or 3 or 4 from now? What type of opportunity are we going to have then? And usually they won't, because they'll be in another company, or their company will be out of business. So this isn't what my training is really about. I'm going on a side, going too off to the side here. But the bottom line is understanding what you have and really being able to relay that and just have that excitement come out is huge. Now, I don't go into all those things. I just understand what I have. I know my belief and my posture is so amazing. But when I set appointments, my goal is not to try and give so much information to get the appointment. It's actually the opposite. My goal is to get the appointment so I can do the overview to give all the information. I've had people say, well, can you tell me more? Oh, I can tell you everything. Is tomorrow at 7 good? Or would you rather do 3? Well, give me some more. You know, what do you do? Oh man, what we do is amazing, and I'm going to show you exactly what we do and how we do it and what the benefits of doing it will be. 7 o'clock tomorrow good, or is 3 o'clock better? If you approach somebody and something basic like, hey, I've got something I'm excited about, I'd love to share it with you, what's your schedule like over the next few days? I'll give you more and better approaches, but just a basic approach. If they start asking questions, you're golden. Don't answer them. Well, then they're not going to need to get together and hear the overview. Just say, oh man, that's a great question. These are the things I want to discuss with you. I want to share with you, and just make sure that you see this the way that I saw it, and you're going to be blown away. What's your schedule like? Can we do it tomorrow, or would Thursday be better? And whatever it is, you both are going to win, because you're going to get the appointment to share with them what you have, and they're going to have the benefit of learning about what you have, and maybe even partnering up with you. If nothing else, they'll certainly be able to benefit from being a customer. I mean, again, that's not where I'm going with this training, but it's all about being a customer. Everything we have and can offer and all the benefits are because the customers have so much that they can get out of being in Melaleuca. All the benefits of the value and products being delivered right to their front door. But most importantly, the quality of the products and the fact that they were manufactured just like 12 minutes ago before you're actually using them. Maybe not 12 minutes, but over the last few weeks, our products were manufactured and delivered to your door. That's really, really important. So anyway, by the way, that all is awesome, but when it comes down to it, it's built a 96% month-to-month reorder rate, meaning that the customers that come in and try our products and purchase from Melaleuca this month, over 96% will come back again next month and purchase products again. That's absolutely amazing. That's what we want. And actually that number is just steadily climbing little by little by little. And I will not be surprised if it is not long before it's at 97%. So in any event, those little numbers don't seem like a lot, but they're huge. So what is a good approach? Well, it depends who you're approaching. It depends what your goal is. I mean, there's a lot of people that like to build just customers, and they approach customers, and it's all about the customers. Obviously, I want thousands of customers or thousands more customers, but I don't want to get them all myself. I want that leverage piece we talked about. So I want to find people that want to team up and roll up their sleeves and build a business with me. So my approach is almost always about the business, and depending again who I'm talking to. I'll give you an example of one of the most recent approaches. I ran into a guy that had done some work on my house when we first moved in 2 years ago. I think I mentioned Melaleuca. It was crazy. I don't remember. But I was at a little supermarket, grocery store yesterday, and I bumped into this guy. And I hadn't seen him in a long time, and just kind of talking to him for a few minutes. And he told me how great things were going and all the things that he's doing. And I said, man, you're always doing so great, and you have a smile on your face. I said, I'm just amazed that you and I don't do more business together. I mean, you love what I do. He's like, yeah, I remember you mentioning something that you did. And I said, listen, John, you got to sit down with me and really hear about what I'm doing, because this could change your life. And as good as you are in your business, you just kill this thing. And he said, really? Well, tell me a little more. I would love to. I got one foot out the door. I'm running now. I got to get home with the food. Why don't we get together over the next few days, and I'll sit down, we'll grab a cup of coffee, and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. And it was a no-brainer. It was an easy appointment, and we set it, I think it's for Thursday afternoon. When I pick up the phone and I set appointments, which is how I set most of my appointments, I often will first make sure that somebody is available for me to talk to them. I don't want to start my approach and like, look, I got the kids are in the car and I'm out the door. So my start will be, hey, John, I see Johnsonville. How are you, John? Hey, John, how you doing? This is Joe. Do you got just a minute for me? Yeah, Joe, I got a minute for you. What's going on? Great. Only need a minute. Actually, I got one foot out the door. I won't keep you. Let me ask you a question. So now, that's the start for a couple reasons. One, I want to find out if they're busy. And two, I'm kind of letting them know I don't have a lot of time either, which is going to kind of get me off the hook from answering too many questions if they try and go in that direction, okay? I mean, I think I have enough posture to just say, no, I'm not going to do that. You need to see it the right way. But it's kind of nice when you have a little bit of an excuse to just cut it off and say, gee, I'd love to tell you, but I can't do it right now. Okay, so again, I recently, and again, I'm talking as if I was new, because most people that are listening to these trainings are new. And if you're not new, you'll appreciate that I'm doing this, because you should have somebody new. You should have somebody new that's on this. So anyway, I recently started a business that I am really excited about. And I'm not sure if you've ever considered making an additional income or having a few extra $1,000s a month, but that was super important to me. And I'm just so excited about this. I'd love to share it with you. Could a little additional income help? Would it be something you'd be interested in if I could show you how you could do it without even affecting your current job or your business? I know you're going to love this. What's your schedule like over the next couple days? Let's get together. We'll sit down. I'll show it to you. See if it's for you. I think it's going to be a home run. I think you and I working together could do really well with this. Anyways, tomorrow good, or would you rather do Thursday? So whatever. The approach is not so much exactly as Paul said. It's not the words you say, it's your attitude, right? So what I want you to do, if you will, is log into the Business Center and go into Reports and Tools in the Download Center. And about halfway down of the Business Tools, you'll see Critical Business Building Activities 1 and 2. It's a brochure. And that brochure gives about 30 or 40 different sample approaches. And the reason why that's important is because everybody's different. And what I do may not resonate with you. It may not be comfortable for you. But you may read one that Tom Pisano did and be like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. I love that. That's going to work really well for me. And probably would be the case because he's really good. All right? Or you might resonate with I don't know, Trixie Overcash, or any one of those. And some of them have the title of the speakers. Most of them actually do not. They're just a bunch of different approaches. find what works for you, what you feel comfortable with. But the key to this is when you get on the phone, the goal is to set the appointment, not to go through all the information. So again, another approach may be, hey, Adam, how you doing? Listen, do you have just a minute for me? Great, good. I won't keep you. I got one foot out the door also. I'm calling because I remember the last time we spoke, you were telling me something about what was going on with you and the family, and just, I think you mentioned your wife was working. You just love for you or her to be at home with the kids, whatever, depending on what the scenario was with him. I'm going to try and relate it to him and his situation with his family. And hopefully he'll say, yeah, Joe, I remember that. Well, I think I found exactly what you need. You're going to be blown away. What's your schedule like over the next couple of days? We got to get together. Or if they're obviously across the country, what's your schedule like this evening? Come listen, sit in front of your computer, just sit, listen. You're going to absolutely love what you hear. I think this could really help get, Susie home with the kids. So again, find an approach that works with you. Find one you feel comfortable with, and find one that works. And when you get one that works, don't get creative. Just keep going. Just use the same approach. Again, you're always going to kind of, make it a little custom towards who you're speaking to, and that's fine. But don't, try and get too creative. Keep it simple and duplicatable. It's 8:01. I'm running out of time. Okay, so I'd like to maybe just do one more. I've had people say to me before that they've approached people and they want to know if it's one of those, or Amway, or multi-level marketing, or something like that. So often that's because what you're saying. So a good trick to avoid that might be saying to someone, hey, Josh, how you doing? This is Joseph. Do you have a minute for me? Great. Listen, I recently started working a little bit of a side business. It's really awesome. And the people that I've teamed up with, my team, are really doing well, and they've taken me under their wing. And they're helping me to develop a second income stream. I'm really excited about it. By the way, it's not Amway or Herbalife or some multi-level marketing type of scheme, thank goodness. But it's something I think you'll really find interesting. And you know what? I think this could help you too. I know it's certainly already working for me, but let's see if this is good for you as well. What's your schedule like over the next couple of days? I want to share it with you and see if this is something that can absolutely just help with whatever your goals may be. Again, depending who you're speaking to. Usually, especially if you're new, you know the person, so you know what their hot button is. If it's your cousin and you hate their job, call them up and say, hey, cousin Mark, how you doing? Listen, I have something I think can finally help you. I know you're not loving what you do. You got to see this. It's absolutely awesome. It's something that we can do. We can work from home. We're not looking for investors. It's really, really great, and I think that you'd be really great at it. But look, I don't know. Come and take a look. See if it's for you. Again, the goal is to set the appointment. Tell me more, Joe. What's it all about? What do I have to do? Listen, I just want you to see this the same way I saw it, because I think this is far too important for me to mess it up on like a 2-minute explanation. 2-minute explanation. But it's very new to me as well. And I think it's gonna blow your mind. What's your schedule like? There's going to be a short overview tomorrow that you can listen to and get an idea of what we're doing and see if it's for you. No obligations. Take a look. See if it's for you. If it is, fine. If it's not, that's fine too. But I guarantee it won't be a waste of your time. So anyway, that's your approach. Remember, when you do set the appointment, make sure that it's solid. Let them know, hey, I'm going to kind of work my schedule around this at 7 p.m. Are you sure this is a good time? You don't have to pick up the kids or drop off or anything? Great. Okay, good. And make sure you double confirm it, because it will be better for you and you'll minimize the cancellations, okay? Again, critical business building activities 1 and 2, give lots of samples. The goal is to set the appointment, not to sell them on Melaleuca. It's to set the appointment so they can then be sold on Melaleuca. And that's about it. So I hope that helps. I want to remind everybody to now start making phone calls and setting up and booking your schedule for the next few days. Don't book it too far out, because often they'll cancel, so try and book them over the next week. And make sure you tune in at exactly 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear one of my favorite trainers. This guy doesn't even know the impact he had on me in my life from Melaleuca because of things that he has done and said over the years. One of the first trainings I went to was Tommy Pisano. He's really amazing, and you're going to absolutely love him. So make sure to tune in for that, either on Facebook Live or right on Zoom with the Time and Freedom team setup, which is team training. Gosh, I don't remember, and it's not in front of me. Sorry about that, but it's on the Time and Freedom team website. You guys all know where it is. And the other thing I want to mention also is if you're not doing presentations by yourself yet, and you don't have someone that's available to do the presentation for you, make sure to log into the Time and Freedom team website and check out the schedule there, because they have live calls each day that you can bring somebody onto that can hear a presentation from one of the top people in Melaleuca. So that could be really helpful. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for listening. I hope that helps. Have a great evening and make it productive.